welcome back to another video, everyone, and we guys hope that you guys can enjoy this one. This one is going to obviously be a little bit disturbing and scary, and we're going to end up going through a lot of different processing of how I've been dealing with this and the circumstances that are before us all every single day in our life, whatever the situation might be, good or bad. I'm going to tell you that this one's going to probably end up making me cry, but it's just part of life, and you got to do stuff to end up making it better. Having friends, family, coworkers, or even a therapist to talk to. And we were talking about different things last time, and we're gonna start a new process and a new channel soon. We actually have two other places we're going to be recording at, and we guys hope that we can get those music, all those songs and different things that are going to come, that are coming your way, and we're going to end up making sure that we end up directing and trying to take every step as a new beginning for all of us. So as we end up speaking, this one is about spanking. I'm going to go through a lot of things, and then we're going to end up summing it up of why this happened, what the situation actually was. And I have it all on my phone. And this is part one for what spanking has to do with, and the situation that went on about a little over 10 days ago. This is why I haven't been obviously recording or doing things here. So I'm going to go through a lot of this, and we hope that we can end up just building on a lot of this positive stuff. Thank you guys for hitting that like and subscribe if you guys want to know more information on this. This one was probably going to traumatize me and probably like I said, it's probably going to make me cry, but the solutions I have to work with every step of the way is going to end up working with this. So before we end up getting into it, this is the channel for music artists and different situations. The other two channels that I'm working on as we speak, when I'm off air and I'm not actually recording and making videotape, I'm trying to get two other PCs, and so we can end up making a video in every single room and all over the studio, where we're going to end up breaking this down. So yeah, let's get into it. Those whoever are new here, welcome in. We are making a new. This is another episode that I'm going to be making, and obviously this one is about spanking. So thank you guys for welcoming in, and as we're going to go through this is not just something you want to talk about when you're in a therapy class or when you're at home or when you're somewhere. You need to talk about it to end up reminding yourself, whether it's with the football team, situations that are going on today, or that are stuck in your mind that you can't seem to let go of. And we're going to get into it as we speak. So I'm looking this up. I'm going to type in certain quotes, and I'm going to let you guys know what I've been talking about. And so I was going through a rough patch the last 10 days. I don't know why. I think there's a lot of questions to end up being answered. And I know that people have been asking me, emailing me, calling me, texting me nonstop for the last 3 days straight. I would even say the last 10 days straight if you're going to end up looking further into this corner. So I was talking to my friend, and shout out to him. I know that he's cool, and his name is Zane, and we got Isaac, and we got Murray, and then we got Ludacris, a bunch of other people that we're going to talk about. So you guys don't want to really know about a bunch of this stuff. I know that a lot of people say that, why don't you just close down, or why don't you just shut up? and let the professionals talk. But professionals only talk about certain things that they are going through, not how to end up helping you out with your situation. So, as I was talking to my friend, and so everyone, I will end up being fine. I'm just trying to figure out what needs to be done. I agree that there's a certain point in my therapy class I've been worried about. My therapist is actually 100% worried about me because of what I've talked about. And I will shout out certain numbers. So if you guys have needed somebody to talk to, they're always there 20 hours, 24 hours a day, 375 a day. Okay. Every single day, there's somebody to talk about, whether it's only for a few minutes. Well, not everything is going to end up being fine. Can I just end up letting you know that everything seems to be a point that my therapist, not just my therapist, is worried about me. There's about 3 other people that are outside of this, maybe including girlfriend. I'm still trying to think about what needs to be done. So going through all this, you're working through. I've had about 35 questions for what happened 10 days ago. I don't know what I need to do. I want to understand that this is not this. This has traumatized me to the point, and I even have a paper now. I'll even quote certain things that I was talking to her about. So what happened the last week? I've been losing my mind. I've had 1,000 questions running through my mind. So I've had 1,000,000 other questions to be answered. So as you're going through this life, you're going to end up answering that you're going to go through a rough patch. Somebody needs to end up answering this quote. Are you okay? Are you going to end up promising one thing? I'm going to tell you that nobody's really okay if you ended up summing it down. I've talked to people in the past about this. I've talked to our coworkers. I've talked to the team with our at our studio that we're working at and everything. And no one's really as they are very very grateful. I'm grateful for having my coworkers and my team on my back to let me know that they're here. So even though that you have 1,000 questions, the rest of my life needs to end up being answered with a who, when, what, why is this going on, and are you going to end up answering the question? I don't know if you're going to ever end up playing. So I was at this point. I was at the end point, and at the end of this video, I will come up with a summary of what I need to do, and hopefully we can make a decision. So have you ever been traumatized? Yes, I have. I've been going through this rough patch every step of the way. I've been posting certain things on my social media. All I know is I end up putting a fake smile. My coach ended up smacking my ass. I don't know why. Is there last Saturday? Last Saturday I was at the football game, getting ready to end up scoring on. I don't know why. We are actually winning. I'm in the sport. Every single day is a new start. That's why these videos are coming at random points of the year and of the week. Last week, my coach ended up talking to me about basically letting people know that I can end up spending time with them, which I'm going to be a loner, and that's something I have to stick with because I just have to. Can you end up understanding that when the coach ends up smacking your ass, can you end up making a decision on what you're going to end up doing? You don't have to go through this alone. We are here for you if you ever need somebody to talk to. I know that you're going to end up being restless and traumatized and scared to end up taking all this in. Can you end up understanding that we are here for you as a team, as a unit, that we want to end up making sure that you're okay? I tell everyone I'm never going to be okay because that's just how I end up starting the conversations, finishing conversations, and so on from there. So as I keep going through this, I keep wondering, I need to end up asking this question: who, when, why? Are you going to end up even getting help? Do you even understand why you're confused or worried? My therapist is not just worried about me. She's worried about the sense of humor that I end up having. So I have a sense of humor that is a little bit dark most times. Are you going to end up understanding why did she spank me? Why did she end up hurting me emotionally, physically, and why did you end up chilling with this? So I was going through this with my friend yesterday, and it seemed to be going good, right? There's 500 million questions to be answered in exactly 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, depending on if I want to or if I'm going to end up staying stable where I'm at. So as I was talking to my friend the last 3 days, it seemed to be going good. So yes, I know that we've all been spanked. I know that we've all had a history of abuse or of substance that we don't want to end up using. And right, so most times when this happens, when I was a little kid, I'd be spanked. Okay, and I'm not just saying beaten. I'm not just saying I'd get spanked and then boom, I'm grounded, whatever. I've been grounding myself as far as I've needed to. The more that I wait, the more that I end up processing, the more that I wait with this, it has traumatized that person in their eyes. It has traumatized some of our team to knowing how to end up dealing with this. So as I was talking to him, I said, well, not only have you end up understanding that she does not have to end up drinking or smoking this marijuana drug, whatever it might be. So as this was going on, I was trying to communicate, and we're gonna have four lessons on how this happened. Actually, let's see what I think we're gonna have 7. No, 1, 2, 3. I think we're gonna have about 4 of these, and then we're gonna have a sum up for the next season, which will probably be in December when we end up finishing this. But okay, so as I was communicating with my therapist, we're just gonna go through one, and then we're gonna work through, and we're gonna come back hopefully later on, and we're gonna communicate a lot more. So as we were going through this, and as I was communicating with the team here at actually not here, just anywhere I go with the team. Um, are you scared? What happened last time? It made me end up understanding. You ended up spanking me. It made me feel uncomfortable. Okay, so a lot of people are going to say, why don't you just keep reading? Why don't you just shut your mouth? Whatever. This is a lot of people of what they truly want me to do. Okay. The Eagles ended up winning, so yes, let's go Eagles. We're going to make it to the Super Bowl again. We actually have more of a chance this year than we did the last 15 years that we've been playing as a team. So, what are some of the things that you want to talk about? Are you obsessed? Are you talking about yourself? Are you worried about yourself? Are you concerned about family troubles? Are you actually taking control of your process of what you do? Right. So that's just one of the notes that I use for one of our songs and what I'm traumatized about. So when you're going through a rough patch, all you want to do is try to end up finding some kind of happiness, right? It doesn't matter if it's a mother, father, grandpa, every single person in your life. There's a reason why they're there. Okay, so this used to be my older brother's room, and it was actually a little bit more cleaner and obviously not as wide open as it is now because I seem to break things, and that's what they say. So in the other room, just right across the room or right across the wall here is where I was living. Okay. And so at the end of the day, I want to end up making a difference, and I will go through all these quotes daily, and we're going to try to work through them. I might actually do 2 videos tonight, counting this one and then one maybe after I get home from my 4 mile an hour walk. But if you put in that into work, it's the way it is. So after I told my buddy a bunch of things that were going on, he said, why do you want to end up processing? Do you need this? Let me end up going back to our chat or little group session that we end up having weekly and every single, almost, it's more than once a week. It's about 47 hours per week. So as I go through things, so at this point, my friend is obviously trying to throw a few bullets at me. And when I say bullets, I'm talking like a sense of humor that is a little bit lighter, and the understanding that we end up having. And so, let's see if we can get through this part. So, even though that my coach ended up grabbing my ass, it made me feel very uncomfortable. I was questionable if I should even go back to the football team, questioning if I should even go back. I told him what was going on. He said, "This is how it is. Are you sure this is what happened? This is a big thing, concern that she did. Maybe it is. Yes, I know I'm very sure about this. Were you very high, right?" So there's a lot of questions being answered there. He was asking if I was high when we were on the football field. Yes, when you are actually understanding this is all what's going on, bro, I think that you need to end up making sure that we are not joking around. This is actually real seriously. You might need to end up recording or reporting this to somebody because you are at the end of your rope. You want to understand that all you want to do is play football and you want to play this sport as long as you can until you're gone, is what he was joking about. I'm really looking forward to our friendship, being up on the football field, basketball field, or any other sport that we're going to end up connecting. If we could go back to the first time that we ended up hanging out at the place, so I took him back to the place and to that mindset, whether I'm high, drunk, whatever. Okay, I'm still going to have a sense of humor, whether it's light or dark. It just depends on who that I spend time with, and that's another topic that I will go into after a few minutes. And these videos shouldn't be that long, but I somehow end up talking forever. So let me take you back, bro. I understand what's going on. I know that you're going to end up making a difference. I blessed that this was the first time I went back to my football game. All I know is I went to the restroom, so I was walking down the street to go back to our where we end up teaming up at and the locker room. I was going back to the locker room, and it seemed to be going good. So then I was walking back. She ended up telling everyone on my team that I was lonely and I had nothing to look forward to. Obviously, I'm a music artist. I make videos, and I end up trying to help as many people as I can out in my life. So after I ended up coming back, I was walking back to the field to end up just coming back to rest, taking a chill pill, right, just trying to calm down with everything that's going on. And with all these questions being held, should I even go back, right, is what was going on through my head. Well, I was trying to communicate with my coach, wondering what did she do? Why did she ended up doing this? It made me feel every single person on the team knows where the location is, what I'm doing, why I'm not spending time, why I have free time. I end up going back, and I've been lonely. I was very struck out of my mindset of walking in the wrong category of life, right? So when you end up going through life, it's going to beat you, it's going to help you, it's going to hurt you, it's going to build you up, it's going to end up bringing you down, strength after strength after issue after issue. It can actually keep going, right? So most of this stuff is going to come true. It already came true. Well, all I know is I never wanted to show my face ever again in town. I know that she scared me and put me way off and threw me up to the point of basically coughing out and telling me that I need to end up changing my motives and what I'm doing on this football field. And this is how we end up getting back together, working out things. I'm not sure if I ever want to play sports. Have you been looking for something better? Bro, I think you should end up reporting this if this is really true, bro. I really understand that you are not just telling me that this is going on. I work for blah, 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 blah. And yes, I understand, bro. I want to understand. I want to get back out there on the field. Can we end up doing this together? Is there a way that I can end up drink? Do you have any wisdom for me? Is what I was quoting here. So after the wisdom ended up coming, can I end up understanding that I don't have to be alone? My spirit is very good. So he was telling me I'm a good person. I have reasonable actions that are going to either traumatize me, rip me down, pull me down, or even help me understand. Meaning I help other people out with what I'm going through with that time of the season or that year. I agree 100% with everything you're talking about. I don't know if we ended up meeting, we would ever end up doing this. I know that we can end up making a difference. It's very fun when you start to talk about this girl that you're seeing or you talk about, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. I know you're going to end up falling asleep. I wish that we could end up talking, right? So Even though that my friend was talking and he was quoting certain things out, I was trying to piece out what I can remember. And well, this put me back in my childhood, like when I was getting spanked. Right? We've all been spanked. We've all had issues with certain things, substances, certain abuse things that have happened. Um, if you understand yourself, what you're going through, somebody else will. Okay, my therapist does not have to understand, but she has a heart, I think, right? But if I thinking isn't knowing and understanding is realizing that I've done something wrong or that they've done something wrong, but they are not going to ever admit that this is all went on. So we've all been spanked. We've all been chopped up. We've all been hurt emotionally, physically abused, whatever it might have been. My dad thinks it's funny when we were kids to end up running a race, not just taking us up to go out ski or snowboard or anything there. He seemed to want to traumatize. It seemed to be traumatized. By the time that I stopped thinking and they stopped smacking me or hurting me emotionally or even calling the police, now it's the police taking me in somewhere. So it's out of certain families' hands. It's out of my hands if I end up saying something stupid, right? Hey, like I'm gonna go jump. Jump where? I'm gonna jump on the ocean side. I want to jump off on this football field. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna make a difference. Well, jumping into this lane, you don't have to be alone. But at the end of the day, it comes down to your choice and what you end up putting yourself through and what you choose to end up letting go of. So if I have a choice to let go of the therapist, but she has my every move, she kind of knows what I'm doing, it ruins what I'm doing. Okay? It ruins the satisfaction, it ruins the happiness, it ruins me. It breaks me into pieces. Across the hall, like I was saying, across the hall here, across this wall, we used to get spanked. Me and my brothers and even sisters and cousins, every single person would get spanked in this room. There was a history, right? When I was born at 13 months, when I was born, my family took me in, right? But they don't talk about it. They don't talk about it that way. They talk about it as, you know what, it's whatever now. And that's where we're at, and that's fine. I'm fine with whatever because at the end of the day, I have to live with my choice, whatever I say, do, and respect. I have to respect family. I have to, just as much as they spanked me, just as much as my mom used a wooden spoon to hit us, or at least hit me when I was goofing around. There was a time that I would say I brought myself to what needed to be done. But some of the people I talk about, some of the things that I go through, I don't choose it. But I do have a choice what I talk about. I do have a realizing what I can do. And so even though that I'm traumatized, I'm scared, all I want to do is battle. I want to rip my eyes out most times because I don't know what I'm supposed to do. This is how my dad or mother want them. This is how my dad wants me to live. There's no problem. How's it going? Are you good? Or if you're sad, can I talk to you? Are you upset? Can I end up helping you? That's how my dad works. He wants me to say to just go to work, to go to the studio, to go wherever and be happy. Put a smile on my face, go and talk to my mother, go and talk to my dad, my father, my cousins, my brothers and sisters. Well, not only is that a good way of saying, yeah, you know what, this is a good life. There is a reason I don't have to go back to therapy. There is a reason why Dad would talk about certain things. But let me end up getting you back to the moment this happened. Since I was born, I've been spanked till I was about 22, right? About 22 is when things started spiraling out of place, and it was not even out. Now it's not out. It's not even in my hands. Now it's not in the families. Now it's in the police officers' hands to take me somewhere where I know that I can't. It's not going to help me. They take me to the hospital. They come and check on me moment by moment every single day at the beginning of the year because of family obviously passing, and this is part of the transaction of what's going on. But at the end of the day, what I want to end up taking away, or even having people take away from this, is that I went 22 whole years with being spanked. And if you want to even cut it down, even if you want to even go further than that, 22 and a half years, 23 almost, very close to that. 23 and a half years of getting spanked, getting took to the prison or to the jail, and getting took into the hospital because I've been told that I have been diagnosed with 5 million things that are not even definitely true. I only talk one way, and I either talk a good way where I'm like, hey, you know what, have a good day. You know what, I love you, I appreciate you. That's how it is. So there was only the 13 months. No, that's even 24. No, that's going on 23 and a half, 24 and a half years ago. Being spanked, being put in the hospital, rehab. I had to learn how to rewalk, learn how to read, learn how to do things, respect people, understand that there's no one that is going to help me. And this is how they want me to live. This is how my dad wants me to live. This is how he wants me. So then I'm over there, I'm out there talking, and we're at a Bible study, whatever we're doing. I'm just trying to be a good son. I'm just trying to be out there, trying to learn what I need to know. Then he brought up this, and this subject is this is where I'm at. And this is where I'm going to probably end it because this is how it is, right? So even though that I was with this group and I was talking, I was trying to communicate certain things, then this is what Dad brings. And this is when I'm thinking, has it really been 24 and a half, almost 24 and a half years ago of being spanked by my own father and getting told that I'm no good, or getting told that I'm hateful, getting told that I'm no good. I don't have a future. I don't have anything. Just because he talks to my boss and then they said, yes, he's having a wonderful year, and this was 1 year ago, call me up. Actually, it already came up. The 1 year already came up. When my boss told me, keep up the good work. We are giving you $1 raise, whatever it might have been. I don't know. I was so messed up in the head. I was obviously drugged. I was alcoholic. I had all of this stuff going on. And Dad talks about every single beer that he's had over the years. And then that gets into my heart. And that's when the traumatized dice started rolling. I'm just a dice to people. What is he going to say now? What is she going to say now? Why does he talk about his own mother? Why can't he talk about his mother or his brother, his sisters, or brothers, or cousins, or even father? Because they don't want me to. They choose to end up speaking up for me. I told my own mother or father that I didn't want to ever see them again. That was a very hurtful thing 10 years ago. 13, 14, yeah, it was 10 years ago officially. 10 years ago of wasting life and wishing. Can I finally see my mother? Can I finally see my brother? Can I finally see my sister? I get to see them. But I have the exact same challenges as the next person in line, is what I was told. That's part of the 1 million things, 10 million things that are running through someone's mind when all they want to do is go and see that beautiful girl or talk about this. Dad has to bring up how many beers and fighting with me. Then just say, you know what? This is not where I'm going to talk to that about. I'm going to talk to you when I'm away from this conversation. And I'm still traumatized. I still sleep in the dark. I still want to go places. You know what Dad says? Do whatever you want because no one's watching you. That sounds right. No one's watching me until I'm in trouble. And then everyone is watching. But with 24 years of being spanked, being traumatized, being bullied by two of my brothers that can't even end up apologizing for things that they have bullied me all season long. The last 10 years, my brother hates me. That's what he says. He doesn't want me here. He wants me locked up in a jail cell. That's a very hurtful thing that is really sad. Because hate is not a good word. I try to distance myself as much as I can from them. I try to go to therapy. I try to go to church. I went to my friend's house. He wanted me to come home safe. What does that have to say? Does he love me or hate me? It just doesn't make any sense. When he's in Oklahoma, he's talking, yeah, he wants me. He wants to see me. He wants to tell me. He wants to tell family that he loves me and appreciates me and wants to be a part of my life. And then goes and ends up pulling certain things and telling family and deceiving, lying, and never willing to own up what they've done. This is how we've been taught, to never own up to what we have been taught, to lie, to deceive, to do everything wrong is what mom and dad, or at least dad, has admitted to us. But when we do something right, when we want to be thanked, when we want someone to end up saying, we want to end up just being that one person. Everyone comes to me for the answers at the studio. Everyone comes to me when I go somewhere. But it's not that I have all the answers. It's I've been through so much that I can't seem to let go of this. But there's a moment in my heart that I have a heart. There's a reason why my mother and father, they end up fighting at certain points of the year. And Dad thinks it's funny. He puts his fake smile on when I tell him I love him. He puts a fake smile on when I say that I'm thankful for having them. But what do I get? I get you're worthless, you can't do anything right, and you can't live the way that you want. It brings it back. I can live however I want. Every single person can. But there's a reason and there's a price. Because I would not sell my soul for all this. I can't sell my soul. And the moment you do, you give Satan a chance. You give the devil the chance to take hold of you at any single point. See, the devil wanted me to walk away from this field and to come home. And I didn't say anything for hours. It took 2 days before I even realized what was going on. I can't. That's my motive. That's the motive I get. I get to live with what I have. But we will end up wrapping it up. Obviously, I'm ready to go eat some cookies and a bunch of other things. Oh, yeah. Let me kind of give you a show up of what we've talked about. And so we've talked about the first one, and we're going to come back, talk about the rest in the next few. So I guess the takeaway from this is that we don't have to live in this guilt. We don't have to live in guilt, which is guilt. I like to sum things up, just really get to the point. We don't have to end up fearing. We don't have to be scared. We don't have to end up living in trauma. We don't have to live for what people want us to believe. Because people may not have the answers to what we're going through. But maybe a therapist, maybe a doctor is right that I need to be on medicine. But I've been running for going on 24 and a half years of being this way. And everyone wants me to end up being happy, to never take drugs, to never end up popping other pills, to go outside and live life, to have a job, to do all this. But the job I deserve is I'm going to give people what they deserve. I'm going to give them the answers that I won't never be able to find. Because at the end of the day, I'm just as worth just as much as they are, just as much as they want me to live for whatever I think in our darkest of hearts that we want to live for this world instead of what God says. God doesn't say that they want me to act like this. But Satan, he tempts us to do something wrong. I'm still getting spanked. If we're even looking at that, this is my whole entire life plus years that are coming. And like I've said in the past, it comes down to your final answer on every little topic. Every conversation, everything you talk about, everything you do, that's between you and your family or that person. But I'm never going to be okay. I'm never going to have a reason to go anywhere. But I go to the studio, I go make music, I go to the friend's house because I want to make a difference for them. I don't care what part of mine I'm in, what location I'm in. I want to know, am I going to make it from here, from the house to the studio? Am I going to make it from the studio to my friend's house? Am I going to make it from the mountains home? Am I going to make it to church? Am I going to make it to these school classes, this class, or this girl's house, or that girl's house? Can I make it to this alcohol party? Can I make it to this? It's up to you to decide, not just me. But if cookies sound good, leave it in the comments, hit that like, and pass it along to friends, family, and we want to get the story out as quickly as possible. We'll see you guys in part 2 later on. We will end up having a part 2. If it's not tonight, it will be later on tomorrow, 24 hours, which will probably be about 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock, maybe even 1 o'clock in the morning, so I can have time to think about what I need to say. And it's been a pleasure for you guys to come over here. These are awesome. If everyone wants to go and travel, go and do whatever your game plan is, because your future is bright. You can't say it's not when, even though that my whole life has kind of been kept a secret ever since day one. But the secrets are eventually going to come out. And it's probably going to put our life in somewhere that we're not going to end up expecting. That I wish that I could go back to the first day, but we can't. Because it's the way it is. I recommend it if you guys do need to go get help or talk to someone. I'm always here. Hit that like, subscribe, email me, phone call me, text me, whatever needs to be done. I'm on Messenger, I'm on TikTok, I'm on everything besides Snapchat, because there's a lot of questions about that and that I'm not ready to officially let go of, and I'm not ready to put that on my device, wherever that device might be. But we'll come up with those places. We'll have those videos coming up soon, and we'll see you guys in about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours from now. But see you guys very soon. If this helps you or anything, let me know, because I really want to try to help as many people out as I can. The process is going to eventually come to an end. But as we're going to get to about 40 minutes and then let go, it's going to take a minute for me to realize what I'm talking about. And this is just a spanking for me. This is more than a spanking. This is life. And life sucks most of the time. If you want to make it happy, there's a chance you can. So just let me know. We'll get back to you guys, and if you guys need any more help, we'll talk in part 2 in about 5 hours. So thank you guys. Have a great day or night wherever you're at, and we'll see you guys very soon.